All right, what's up, people? So today's video is actually going to be fairly short, and the reason is because I honestly just didn't feel a need to just like address this topic, but I'm just seeing so many people complain about it in a way that slightly feels uneducated. You know, I'm not going to call anybody like uneducated, but it's an issue that can be fixed literally with one button, and that is comparing the Blackmagic Pyxis 6K, got tied up there, to the Red Komodo. One has rolling shutter, one has global shutter, and I want to show you guys that, you know, if you're doing just some type of run and gun, some type of just motion, whatever work with your camera, it's not as big as a deal that a lot of people are making it seem. So I'm going to just show you guys a quick test comparing the two side by side, and showing you that there's a way to eliminate rolling shutter on the Pyxis, and it looks just as good as what you would get on, you know, the Komodo. Now, there is a few things like to note that, you know, because it's not like full on global shutter, things like if you're filming flashing lights, you know, if you have a global shutter sensor, you're not seeing like that frame get cut in half by the light when it's like flickering off and on, versus the Pyxis, like you will get that, you know. So that is like a more valid concern to argue about with the Pyxis versus the Komodo, versus just the little wobble jello jiggly stuff, because that could be fixed fairly easy thanks to DaVinci Resolve. All right, so starting off with the Pyxis 6K here, shooting in 3x2 open gate, and I'm not gonna apply image stabilization, any of that, to fix the rolling shutter at first, because for the most part, a lot of people's shots are just steady like this, just a talking head or just some type of follow, whatever we're doing. We're not doing any, you know, sudden crazy jerks or anything like that, unless your script calls for it. We're not doing any crazy left and right whip pans unless your script calls for it. So I'm gonna try and mimic this shot and just do little walk in towards this basketball hoop here, swoop under, swoop around. You know, that's something we're doing for the most part, and that was no image stabilization, right? All right, and now we're gonna do just our left and right whip pans, and you know, there's a slower sensor readout, so you can see, you know, we're getting a little bit of that jello. You know, we're getting a little bit of that jello on the basketball hoop here. But again, for the most part, stuff is happening so quick. Only us filmmakers are noticing this. A regular person going to the movies, watching your thing on Vimeo, watching something on their telephone, like it's not that serious. It's not going to look so bad. All right, so now we are on the Komodo, and here's just an example of just some basic movements. And honestly, this just feels unrealistic to me, because this isn't something that you'd be doing unless your script calls for it. But here's our swoop shot. All right, so Eddie, the editor here, just to kind of show you a quick adjustment. We're going to adjust this clip on the right here. We're going to come to our settings under video, changes to camera gyro. Before we hit stabilize, we're just going to set this to 0 because we don't want any, you know, crop with it. We really just want the rolling shutter to be eliminated, and it's going to apply this, and you'll see this is the same exact clip, same exact frame, and just scaled probably a tiny bit differently, but you can see just how much that straightened out. Does a tiny bit crop, but you can see it kind of just eliminates that jello effect. So before you bring your footage into post, one of the things that you can do is go into the settings and go to just a different crop ratio on your sensor. That's going to give you a slower shutter speed readout. So I'm going to come here, and we're kind of just going to do the same thing. You know, again, this doesn't eliminate, you know, your rolling shutter, but it does make it better. It's not nearly as bad or noticeable just through monitor. Then we're going to do our swoop shot. So that's honestly it, you guys. There's honestly not that much to it. It's a really simple and easy fix, but I just wanted to put this video out there to bring knowledge to people that, you know, it is a concern for whatever reason, know that the fix is limited, but that it can be somewhat fixed just depending on what you're doing. Just know the technicalities of your shoot, know what your camera's capable of, and you'll be able to walk away just satisfied with whatever you get from whatever camera you use, whether that be the Pyxis, whether that be the Red, whether that be whatever other type of camera you're using. The Pyxis has the benefit of being able to go into resolve and enter that gyro data and eliminate the rolling shutter, but for the most part, in my opinion, it's nothing to really complain about.